Welcome back, my fellow comradians, or guys, or fellers, or friends, or whatever. Guys, I'm glad to have you back. And in this special adventure in the survival shed, we are going over my special Stasi-proof East German medical kit. And this is my own homemade kit. It's a medical kit, and it's tailored to specific things, and it's tailored to everyday first aid. But this here is actually something I carry when I go car camping. This isn't something I would carry if I'm going backpacking or anything. However, I do have an item in here that we'll talk about that's separate of this kit, but it goes with this kit when I'm not using it in something else. But we'll talk about that here in a minute. So right off the bat, you see the little first aid symbol there. Let me tell you guys right now, I am not a doctor. I am not a doctor. I am not giving any medical advice. I am just simply showing my own personal medical kit, my everyday carry, or let's just say car camping bag. It is this right here. And yes, I'm not a doctor, and I do not give any medical advice, so do not take my word for it. You guys research yourself. Okay, that out of the way. This is an East German assault pack. And I turned this into my medical kit, or my first aid carry bag. I said a million times already, I use it when I go camping. Now, I want to show you the outside of the bag before we go on the inside. And basically it just has two of the flip things here, which I'll show you in a minute. But on the back side, I took off the straps for it, and I put a Alice strap on that. But I only put one, and if you noticed, I put it on one end here, and on their side I put it on the other end over here. So it's at a diagonal, so I can wear it like a sling. So yeah, basically I've got it like a sling, so I could just grab it if I'm in a hurry, throw it over my shoulders, well, kind of like that. Gotta adjust it. And then I got it like that, and I can just run with it, and it's real quick. This setup is just a lot quicker, and I can run with it. Say if I'm driving my car down the road and I see an accident. Also, what I like about this being it's not made for a first aid kit, but I made into that, but I like how it has a handle. So I can do the same. I can grab it and run with it too. So let's get into the contents of my medic kit. Oh, and also, I just have a sticky Velcro. It just says medic on there. It's not sewn on or anything. Basically, I have these really nice Stricktarn East German camouflage straps. These things are pretty much bomb-proof, Stasi-proof, and not quick release or anything, but you know, everything is very secure in there. Again, we have a nice little strap in here as well. Okay, item number one. Item number one is a shemagh, and specifically I picked out an orange shemagh because orange shemaghs here, 100% cotton, you can use for signaling because it's orange, and you can also use it for filtering water. You can use it to make an improvised tourniquet. You can use it for a sling to hold your arm up around your, you know, you could have it up there, tie a knot to hold your arm with the splint if you have one, which I don't have yet. Talk about that in a minute. But mainly, not really so much for filtering water for this kit, but mainly for a sling or an improvised tourniquet, or for stopping blood, or from covering yourself from getting sunburned. I mean, guys, you guys already know what shemaghs are good for, so I don't think I really need to go into details about that. Okay, this is actually an IFAK kit, which is individual first aid kit. Now this is also my individual first aid kit that I wear on my battle belt, which that is something totally separate from this medical kit. However, if I'm not using my battle belt, this goes into that, and it fits right in there like that. This is a whole nother kit in itself, and we'll put this off to the side for now, but I do want to talk about this towards the end of the video. Okay, we have our pretty much typical painkillers, Tylenol, Advil, One's an ibuprofen, which is anti-inflammatory, and Tylenol is a acetaminophen pain reliever, fever reducer. I probably didn't say that right. But the nice thing about these two is that, and once again, I'm not a doctor, so don't take my advice. But if you take Advil, 2 of them, and then 3 hours from that, you take 2 Tylenol, which would be 1,000 milligrams, and you repeat that every 3 hours, that gives you all-day relief. And the reason why you can do that is because Advil is different than Tylenol. Advil is an anti-inflammatory, where Tylenol is more of a fever reducer. I don't believe it is an anti-inflammatory. But if you wanted to keep your all-day strength going, or all-day pain-free, that would be the way to use it. However, there are other cocktails that you can combine with this. But again, seek doctors, seek professional medical advice on that. But this is another thing that I keep in my kit. And this is definitely Stasi proof. Stasi proof.
Okay, Scotty Survival, where were you last night at 10:30 p.m. Stasi time?
I was home. I was out past the curfew at 10 o'clock. I don't know what you guys are talking about. It wasn't me. It really wasn't me. Okay, and also I keep everything in Ziploc bags to kind of keep it organized a little better. And I just like the idea of that. But in this bag here, I have baby powder. I have Jock Itch, which is just antifungal cream, and I have triple antibiotic ointment, and I have a thing of chapstick. Now the baby powder is great because, you know, right now we're in summertime, and also it's good in wintertime too, but it's summertime, so you know your skin gets chapped, and I think baby powder is really good for that. And then you have the they call it Jock Itch cream, but it's basically an antifungal cream, which is really good, especially at this time of the year, summertime. And so I like to have that. You know, and again, this medical kit here in itself can change a little bit when the winter months come up. So I might do a revised edition of this video, or do like the winter edition of this video, because this is more for like summertime, summer, fall time. And we have triple antibiotic ointment right here. And I will tell you what, I never use this stuff that much, but Angel Survival actually kind of talked to me about it one day, and she likes to use it when she has little cuts and stuff. And a doctor had told her that it helps your wounds heal better because when you put like stuff on it like peroxide or alcohol or anything like that, it dries it out. And I've come to find out that's very true. But with triple antibiotic ointment, it dries better. I'm sorry, it doesn't dry better. With triple antibiotic ointment, it heals better because it keeps your skin, it keeps your wound moisturized. It doesn't dry it out. And also, I think that helps with scar tissue. So, and I've used this a few times, and it seemed to do a lot better than just like continuing to spray peroxide on it or something, sodium peroxide. So again, you know, seek your doctor, medical attention from a professional. I'm just a survivalist. So yeah. But triple antibiotic ointment is a must in my kit for sure. Chapsticks, always just good to have for chapped lips. I mean, many uses, but you know, chapped lips is good. And like I said, wintertime comes around, this is very good to keep in your kit. At least for me, because I get chapped lips quite a bit in the wintertime, more than anything. Okay, I had to put my Czechoslovakian hat on. It's got IR deflecting camouflage in it. It's kind of close to the East German, but once in a while I hear the Stasi around the corner. Sometimes I don't know if it's like radio waves in there, or if they're just like trying to triangulate onto my location, but usually when I put this on, the IR infrared camouflage from the Czechoslovakian, very updated camouflage from back in the day, like 60s. So, you know, if I kind of do this, it seems like it's helping, but I don't know. We'll see. Well, you'll know, because we'll be on the run again if the Stasi are coming. So, yeah. Anyways, here's my other bag. And in this bag we have Gorilla Tape, we have waterproof adhesive tape, and we have gauze. And I have some emergency rolled gauze here. And I kind of got these together because you have your tapes and you have your gauze. So if you need to make like an improvised band-aid, you know, if you need to tape gauze on something, that's why I have it. Basically make an improvised band-aid. But I think it's very good to have in your kits. So simple as that. Improvised band-aid kit right here. Well, this right here, don't need to really go into much detail with this, but this is non-latex gloves. Non-latex gloves, these are just good to have for anything. When you're, especially for handling other people or for your emergency situation. You just never know. And non-latex is good because there's a lot of people that are allergic to latex. So latex or non-latex, I'm going to say gloves. Tweezers, still in the package. I mentioned I keep these in my every camp out carry pouch. I keep a pair of tweezers just because where I like to go camping, there's a lot of ticks, and these are good for ticks, but you know, multi-use, splinters, ticks, metal in your skin. I mean, so many uses with a pair of tweezers. Pull hair, a nose hair. If you guys ever done that before, it hurts. But it works great. So tweezers. Bug spray. And this is actually just a regular Repel Insect Sportsman's 40% DEET. It's good for ticks, gnats, biting flies, chiggers, and fleas. And too bad it's not good for shingles because I just got over having shingles about almost 2 weeks ago. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit too. I'm only in my 40s, so yeah, that doesn't mean anything. Anyways, it's not good for shingles, but it's good for chiggers, which I did have prior to that. Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff to tell you guys, you know. A lot has happened since our last camp out in my survival smock video, if you watched that video. But nothing's worse than trying to attend a, let's say, camp out wound or something. You got gnats and mosquitoes biting at you. It's always good to spray your perimeter around with this or your body to keep those at bay. So there you go, Repel Insect Killer. And no insects were harmed to make this video. I cannot say enough good things about Benadryl. It's awesome. I've talked about it in my other videos. And I got something else in here. But it's, you know, summertime, allergies are out, and you can't sleep at night. Excellent sleep aid, in my opinion. Also, inside there I have Imodium, which is anti-diarrhea. Another thing good to have in your first aid kit. You gotta also keep in mind, this first aid kit is mainly when I go car camping, but it's also like when I go on vacations and stuff like that. It's just good to have. I might need it. My wife might need it. If we see someone broke down the side of the road, might need to help someone, you know. So I'm trying to think outside the box, not just inside the box. So yeah, Benadryl and Imodium. Okay, a space blanket and a wire saw with another space blanket. I mean, space blankets have their place, I guess. If I need to try to keep somebody warm, that, you know, that would help a little bit. I can testify to that because I used one on my last camp out and it did help a little bit on keeping me warm. And so yeah. And a wire saw, I think I had it in there from something prior, but I believe I kept it in there because a wire saw, I don't think it's so great for cutting wood, which it does, but I think it'd be good for like cutting metal or something, or pipe or anything like that. So, you know, you never know what situation I'm going to be in, just because you know, being in an urban environment. Just, you know, if I'm going on vacation, I might need to cut something to get into something. I mean, so I think that these might be better for like an urban environment rather than a wilderness environment. Talking about the wire saw in there. I mean, you guys all know what a wire saw is, I'm sure. I'll just take it out and show you. I've had these break on me. Done videos on it, but basically you just grab it by the, and you just cut. But I think it cuts pipe and metal better than it does wood, but it will cut wood. Done it before. So there you go. There's that. Isopropylene alcohol and hydrogen peroxide. And you got the alcohol, which is a 70%. It's a antiseptic and sanitizer. So basically, you know, they use these first to clean the wounds, clean whatever you got to, you know, work on or sew up or repair. And that's good for cleaning the wounds on the initial start of whatever you're doing, whether it be a cut on you or something. And then you've got hydrogen peroxide, which I used to use this stuff. This was like always my go-to whenever I cut myself. And, you know, it works good. But the thing is it dries you out. So I think this is good to use. And, you know, it's always when you see, if you guys ever use hydrogen peroxide, which I'm sure you have, but you see your cut, you see it foam up when you spray it on, you're like, oh, you know, it's killing all the bacteria. But if you ever notice, it dries out in a day or two. You always got to keep using it. But I think this is good from the initial start. But I think if you take that triple antibiotic ointment, I think that's good to put on afterwards, because what it's going to do is going to keep your skin moisturized, and it's going to help your wound heal better, and it's going to scar better. Just my opinion. Again, I'm not a doctor, so don't seek my advice. Seek a professional doctor. So there you go. Pretty common items you'll see in first aid kits. We have petroleum jelly, which, again, this is good for dry skin. It's good for making fire starter as well. But it's just good for protecting your skin. And it's just another thing I have in here. It's more of a winter item. But yeah, petroleum jelly. And in this one here, I have another pair of tweezers and fingernail clippers. So I think those are good to keep in a first aid kit. Tweezers we've talked about. Fingernail clippers are great for clipping your fingernails. You know, if you got like a hangnail, or even like on your toenail, if you got something hang on there and you need it clipped off, like what they call ingrown toenail, yeah. You know, I don't know. I've never had one, so I don't know if that's something you necessarily use. But I think if you had something going on with your toenails or fingernails, I think it's a good idea to have a pair of fingernail or toenail clippers with you. So there's that. Okay, here we have a bandaged mousseline compressed camouflage. This is actually a military cravat. I think that's how you say it, cravat. And it's basically like a shemagh, but it's just smaller, a lot smaller. But it's neat. It's got a little diagram of what you can use it for on the back there. I thought that was kind of neat. But yeah, you can use it for your back, you can use it for the front brace, you can use it for a tourniquet, a sling, you can use it for a head wrap, a knee wrap, I mean, filtering water, you know, pressurizing a wound. I mean, it's got all kinds of uses. This is actually a military item there. You guys know my favorite dish soap. And this is just dishwashing. It's not antibacterial dish soap. Now, there is a brand that's, I think it's like a dish soap, but it is antibacterial. This isn't, but you know what? This stuff is just so powerful. It just cleans so well. It gets all the grease off your hands and everything. And I just, you guys hear that? Thought I heard stasi. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, this stuff is really good to have. I really enjoy dish soap. What can I say? So there you go, dish soap. Okay, here I have a variety pack of Band-Aids. And I have all different sizes, because you never know when you get a cut on your finger, knuckle, I mean, anywhere in your body. So I think it's good to always have a variety pack. And these are antibacterial pack too. Now, I've noticed from experience that you sometimes don't want to go cheap on Band-Aids, because the cheap ones just, they never stick, and they're not great. So this is Equate brand. I'm not really sure how great they are, but hopefully I don't have to use them. But you know, this is life, right? What We all bleed at some point, so yeah. Okay, I have also some more Band-Aids, but I have jumbo size, and I actually really like these jumbo size Band-Aids. They work great for like your elbow, your arm, leg, wherever you have like maybe have a bigger surface area you need to cover, or just a bigger cut in general. I really like these jumbo size Band-Aids, and these get kind of expensive. You know, you only get 10. I forgot what these cost, but they can start to get pretty expensive. So that's another good thing I keep my kit, are jumbo Band-Aids. Again, I have a whole box of roll gauze, and some of the stuff I just keep in the boxes. I might take some out of the boxes and mix it in with the in the Ziploc bags to save some room. But I mean, gauze you can't ever not have too much in there. So another box of gauze. Iodine for all you Gen Xers out there, which I was born in 1983, so I'm kind of a what they call, I'm not technically a millennial, but a zennial. But anyways, maybe it's the boomers. I don't know. That generation, I think Gen X, they always put iodine on everything. Any cut you got iodine. I remember when I was a kid, my dad had this little iodine thing, and he'd rub the iodine on my cut, and man, it would burn. But it was good stuff. And it's another first aid antiseptic. But what's really great about this, you can also use it to purify water. It's also really good for that too. But again, I'm not a doctor, so don't take my word for it. Do your own research. So there we go. Iodine. And then I just have another multi-tool here, which is a Swiss Army knife. It's got knives, scissors, can opener. It's just your average Swiss Army knife. Nothing too crazy. Got your knife on there, and another knife, and got scissors, which actually scissors I do like, but it's got a saw. It's got a little bit of everything on there, so got to have that. Okay, that's everything in this. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you my IFAK kit real quick. But before we do that, I want to show you the inside of this. This is actually a rubberized inside of a East German pack. They're not. The East German packs weren't always rubberized. These are the nicer ones that have the rubber. They have the rubber lining in it, and these are actually really nice. I really like that. So I've got a few German packs, but I picked this one because I want to keep my first aid items waterproof, and that's really nice to have in this kit. Okay, this is my individual first aid kit, and this goes on my battle belt. And basically, I'll just show you how I carry it real quick. So yeah, it's got a Velcro spot back here, but it sits on this little Velcro pad here, and then it has basically has the buckle. Has a buckle, it comes through, and that just stays on my belt with all my other stuff over here. Kind of see it's on the belt right there. So that's what I carried on my battle vest, or my battle belt. I can just, all I gotta do, it just rips off there like that, and then I have it. I can walk with it now. So yeah. On the outside, we have a nice pair of scissors there, and that's mainly for cutting like pant legs or shirt pants to get to the wound itself. And this is a very high trauma kit here. Again, it goes on my battle belt. So if you guys know what that means, then you know what I'm talking about. And so anyways, unzip it there, and to reveal the insides to you. Okay, so right off the bat, I have super glue. This being a IFAK kit, I think super glue is really good to have, especially if you need to heal a wound up really fast. Something that you can just glue, a big cut on the arm, if you can glue it and hold it, and just hold it for as long as you can to get this to seal. It's a rapid fuse super glue. I say that, I say it's good, but only for extreme emergencies, because if you're losing a lot of blood and you need to heal something up fast and you're able to do it, then I think this would be good. However, that's just my personal opinion, but I believe you can get a really serious infection in your skin. You can get a really serious infection in your bloodstream and your bones. I've heard stories where people have gotten bad infections from super glue, and that's why I think it's only in a critical scenario that you're in. If it's going to save someone's life and that just for that moment to at least get them to a hospital, then I believe that's all you have. That's what you should. That's what you probably should do. I mean, don't take my word for it, but I think that's, you know, if you're able to do it to save someone's life in that meantime, just to get them to the hospital to get professional care, then I think super glue would be very good to use for that. But again, I'm not a doctor. Please don't take my words as, you know, concrete, because they're not written in stone. It's just my opinion. I hope I never have to use this. So, but it's better to have it and not have it. So, this is DAP Rapid Diffuse Super Glue. And I also have Gorilla Super Glue, which is very good. And I think this is this is a regular super glue. However, I've used this stuff before, like on my shoes to repair them, and it's different than regular super glue, I believe. This stuff here, it kind of foams up, and I don't like it. It's like it just expands out, where I don't think regular super glue does that. You know, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but I don't think it does. So that's one reason why I picked this glue. So, super glue. I also have 2 packets of their NAR compressed gauze, and it's a North American Rescue brand, and it's very compressed. There's quite a bit in here, but you can use this again. It's more gauze. But it's very good for packing like wounds, like a gunshot wound or something, or just a wound that's split open. What you do is you pack it with this stuff as much as you can, and then you'll take like your Israeli bandage or tourniquet, which we're about to talk about here in a minute, and you would take your Israeli bandage and you go over that wound with it and tie it as you can. But yeah, this is basically not just gauze, but it's packing gauze, and you would use it to pack wounds, like a gunshot wound or a knife wound or any kind of wound, just a wound that's where you got a lot of bleeding coming out of. And basically what you do is you'd pack it and you'd hold it there for, I think they recommend like 5 to 15 minutes. You hold it and you just keep pressure on it for that long of a period of time to get to stop bleeding. You know, again, don't take my word for it, but always seek a professional doctor, EMT, medic. Again, I'm just Scotty Survival, so yeah. I'll go and skip this here. Well, I'll skip it, but it's just some more gauze. It's just a roll gauze. It's not vacuum sealed. So put that to the side. And let's take these 2 out here. Right here I have a Israeli bandage, a real one. And then I have a cat tourniquet, which these operate similar. These operate pretty close to how these work pretty much the same way, but they're both a little different. And we'll go out and tell you about the Israeli bandage here. I want to show Angel how to use one of these, Angel Survival, because she has her kit that she carries in her car. She's got one of these now too, but I want to show her how to use one of these. And these are vacuum sealed, and the expiration date on mine is 2032. Where is that? Yeah, got them on the back there. You can kind of see it. But yeah, basically, and if you guys want to see a video how to use one of these, maybe Angel Survival use it on my arm or something, let me know, because there's multiple ways that you can use these. But basically, it acts as a tourniquet. Basically, it's a big cloth, and it unravels, and it's got like a little plastic thing in it like this, kind of shaped like a banana with a little slot in the center. And basically what you do is you'd wrap it around that wound that you just got done packing with your packing gauze. And then you would wrap it around once, and then you'd slide through that little plastic loop on top of the cloth, and then you cinch it and go the other direction. And that tightens it. And then you just keep wrapping that around, and then you would just basically slide it underneath one of the sides of the cloth. It's basically like your tourniquet. You're wrapping the wound, but you're also applying pressure. It was designed by, I believe, an Israeli medic is who designed this or came up with the idea. And so yeah, it was really neat because Israel is really close to my heart. And so yeah, they've got so many neat things that have come out of Israel. But you can kind of see it in the picture there. But I'm sure most of you guys know what that is. But I am going to definitely do a practice test one of these on me and Angel. And I kind of do want to film that for you guys. So let me know if you guys would like to see that. But that's your Israeli bandage. And again, there's multiple ways you can use it. Tie it down, tighten it down. If I do a video on that, then I'll show all those different ways to do it. This is your tourniquet. You guys have got to know what a tourniquet is. It's similar to the Israeli bandage, but it's just got this little rod on here. And I just keep mine sealed. I know how to use one, so I don't need to unseal it. But yeah, it's basically a tourniquet. And with tourniquets, you know, they're made to... If you have to use a tourniquet, you're in a bad situation regardless. And there's been different debates and people saying where to put the tourniquet. And there's different terms for it. I don't know those terms. I've heard people say the terms for it. But, you know, if you're cut like right here, if you're cut like right here in the arm or something, or like right here, or if you're just cut somewhere, let's just say right here, they usually go high. I think it's called high and tight or something. I could be wrong. And go higher you go, so you cut that blood supply off. But then they say don't do that because it can damage nerves or stuff around your joints. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a doctor again. So they say 3 inches above the cut, the best you can, is where you want to put your tourniquet. So you're not going to do, so you do less damage to your body. Again, I'm not a doctor. I don't know. It's just stuff I've read and watched and learned. But yeah, if you're having to use a tourniquet, my friends, then it's a very bad situation. But again, it's something good to have, and something good that you never have to. It's something good to have, and it's always good if you never have to use it. So, yeah, not much talk about that. That's just a tourniquet. You guys, you know, if you don't know what tourniquet is, just Google it. I'm not going to get into super big details on it, at least in this video. But I will on the Israeli bandage. I do really want to do a video on this, so yeah. And of course, gloves. You always got to have gloves in your kit. And this being an IFAK kit, you definitely need them. Okay, some quick announcements, guys. River Valley Fest. I actually heard about this through another YouTuber, Olive Drab Alliance. Had talked about it, and I looked it up, and it's they're going to be doing Survival Fest for 4 days. The week of September 11th, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Forest City, Illinois. And guess what? I'm going. And I'll be staying all 4 days. And so if you guys are able to make it out there, I'd hope to see you there. I think if you just go to rivervalleyfest.com or just Google River Valley Fest, you can get tickets for it. I think they're $75. But Corporal's Corner is going to be out there, and other people's going to be out there. There's another guy that's going to be out there. I can't think of his name off the bat, but he's a Christian speaker, and that's going to be really fun to be able to interact with another brother in Christ. And yeah, so if you guys are going to be in that area in Forest City, Illinois, which is kind of between Havana and Manitou, let's see, it's kind of south, I want to say southwest of, or just south of Peoria. Maybe it's southeast Peoria. I don't know. I just know it's south of Peoria. And so yeah, I think it's south of Peoria. But anyways, it's Forest City. And that's where the Secret Pine Forest is. That's where we're going to be at. So if you guys are able to make it, that'd be awesome to see you guys there. At least someone. So another thing on that, again, that's going to be September 11th. So that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of that week. And also, I got shingles about 2 weeks ago. And I thought I had a pulled muscle in my leg and my back. And I started breaking out in like a rash on top of my leg, on my back area, my lower back area. I had chiggers prior to that, and I think I got those either when I went camping in my last camp out or from work when I get out in a high ditch. But anyways, I started breaking out a rash, and the rashes, like they're like little bites or something. They weren't bothering me. And then I think it was in 3 days into it, still having back pain and stuff, thinking I had a pulled muscle. I came home, I looked at my back part of my body, and I had more of those spots. So I was like, all right, I had to have Angel take me into the urgent care. And lo and behold, she says I had shingles. I showed her my rashes. Yep, you have shingles. I'm like, and I always thought older people got that, but no, it's not true. And so, of course, you know, when I was a child, I had chicken pox. And so if you had chicken pox, then yeah, you have shingles in your body. It just lays dormant. So yeah, I've been dealing with shingles. I'm still dealing with shingles. It can take weeks to go away. The pain is not as bad, but I can tell you, I do not want you guys to ever get shingles. So don't get shingles, which they say stress brings out shingles. So you got to be stress-free, guys. You got to stay stress-free, okay? So that's all I have for this fun-filled adventure. And yeah, I'm ready to do an overnighter. I think our next overnighter is probably going to be when we go to River Valley Survival Fest. I'll probably be filming overnights out there and stuff. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing. That's probably going to be my next videos. And that's just something that just came up. So I'm really excited about it. And I hope to see you guys out there. That'd be really cool. But yeah. Anyways, guys, if you have, I hope you do. If you have any comments. Oh, one more thing I forgot. A SAM splint. I need to put a SAM splint in my kit. And I want to get one. I just don't have one yet. But I know there's probably some more things I can add to this kit. I'm still working on it. But if you guys have any ideas, could you please let me know in the comment section below? I really appreciate it. You guys always seem to leave pretty good comments and feedback for me, and I just want you to know I appreciate it. So, yeah. So, I'll see you guys in the next video. And, guys, it's been a lot of fun. And I'll talk to you later. All right, guys. God bless and take care. What? I think the Stasi are on. Oh my gosh. The Stasi are here. No, I'm not scared. No, 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 no.